Hello and welcome, lovelies, to Divine Goddess Tarot. My name is Jessica. I'm here bringing you, as well as ropes today, we are bringing you Divine Goddess messages from your higher feminine source. So this is, if this is your first time watching my show, I just bring in, tap into that energy of your power, which is Divine Goddess energy, and the messages that come so that we can apply them into our lives and see what energies are coming through. So let's see what goddesses are going to be with us here today and go from there. So I hope your day is going well. As a reminder, your masculine energy is your consciousness, your focus, your direction. So we can clarify and know parts of ourselves. I'm going to say those two actually are speaking to me. So we've got Morgan, Death and Magic, and then we have Benzai Zen, which is beauty. So that's very interesting, those two energies today. Death and Magic, I'm interested. That's a new one for me. So we're gonna learn together with her and see what energies are coming through. Now, Benzai Zen she is representation of beauty. And beauty is something that is so a part of goddess energy. We all enjoy beautiful things. We are drawn to them intrinsically. From the time that we're babies, we are drawn to beauty. And of course, beauty has layers and definitions, and everyone, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it's preference as well. So we're going to tap into those two goddesses and see what messages that they have for us today. Let's get into tarot, and then what I'm going to do with tarot is tap into a collective energy and see what messages are coming through for some individuals that are having issues with certain things, and it will correlate with these two goddesses. If you are new, I always, and even if you return, what messages may not resonate with you, that's okay. Put them on the shelf. It may be applicable for another time. Of course, I don't have a specific message for a timeline for my shows, and the reason is because if something in the headline grabs to you, if something reaches out to you, the message is for you. There's something in there for you. So let's see what tarot has. Ooh, we're already spinning with some messages. So the moon, we've got the Three of Wands and the Star. So already we've got a little bit of that energy that's going on, especially the Star card with beauty, and the moon with death and magic, because as we know, the moon is a very big symbol of magic, and as well as shadow side. So the moon is of course when our earth is in a dark place, and so it's a beautiful thing, because of course we can't see the stars without darkness, right? So let's see what other messages come forward, and we can get a clearer picture. We've got the Fool, and we've got the Four of Swords. We've got the Three of Swords. So there's been I'm feeling in this reading, some heartbreak, for sure. And that can also mean death. Heartbreak is something of an ending of something. I'm feeling that one right there. Yes, justice. We've got the Ten of Swords in reverse, and I'm feeling this bottom card. Yes, Judgment. So, and I want to clarify, let's clarify the Three of Hearts, or Three of Swords, really quick. Maybe Three of Hearts, maybe there's three hearts going on of some hurt and some turmoil, and so let's see where this goes. Oh yeah, got a few messages. Let me read that one. Oh yes, sleepless nights. We've got some energies we've got the Hangman, we've got the Nine of Swords, We do have the Four of Wands, and then of course Nine Pentacles. So there is energies that are coming that they are going to pay off. There is light. There is going to be a dawn for this nighttime energy. There will be in time. So I'm seeing this in the future tense of celebration, of perhaps even a wedding. There's going to be a partnership that will be a success. Is it this one, the one that is being coming through at this time? Maybe. I mean, relationships have their ebbs and flows and growth. So sometimes there are things that we must let go of, we must go through in order for the lessons to appear as to why that dark night of the soul has been happening. There's definitely a lot of sleepless nights from this. I'm seeing with the Nine of Swords, it's turmoil, it's inner turmoil, it's a lot of disruption. The Four of Swords is encouraging you to go within, to take a break, to take some time. There's and with the Fool card here being is setting off into something new, it can also be setting off into a new way of being in the relationship. Of course, relationships, each couple defines them as their own, and that's something that I know in my relationships, and then in my successful love relationship. Even that one, we had to go through so many, a learning curve with each other. And that meant of whatever we were bringing into the relationship, there's things that worked and didn't work. And sometimes you have to explore those things before you find out, yeah, that's not me. That's something that does not work for me, or work for us. And so that's where you move forward. That's where you gain, you have a death in that relationship of a way of being, and then you create magic by creating something new. And I love beauty, because beauty it's not just surface level. It be in many ways. Beauty can be in transformation. Beauty can be in death, the death of something. It's very interesting how society sometimes it's only the veneer, but when someone, you can see a very beautiful person, and as soon as they open their mouth, they become very ugly very quickly. And so beauty there's layers to beauty, there's depth to beauty. The Star card here, I love this because for some reason I always, whenever I see her and she's at that well, that spring, it feels so infinite to me, that she is just drawing up the infinite source of magic and hope and the future and dreaming. And we all have this idea in our beautiful mind and souls of what we want to create in life. And so the Star card is really there to inspire us to hold to those dreams, know what is for you, and trust that the magic will happen, but also know that the death of certain things must occur in order for them to come into existence. So we can't hold on to everything. Attachment to old ways of being, attachment to old dreams, that is something that resonates with me in my journey, is that I found that when life was changing for me, that where I got myself stuck was I actually had an attachment to the dream I had, that this is how the story was supposed to go and how it was supposed to go. And that's what caused a lot of my what Buddhism calls dukkha. It's kind of my misery, and there's a lot of aspects to that, but it is your own misery. You cause yourself your own misery by holding on to dreams that it's not the dream. It's more or less the feeling. I want to be loved. I want to be, I want my best friend. I want passion. I want joy. I want peace. Those are the things that you get very clear on and let go of how it's supposed to happen or what it's supposed to look like, and it will come to you. So keep those dreams alive. The moon card is you've got several different animals here that they're all together, and so sometimes what this message is telling me is that sometimes love happens where you least expect it, or from the person that you didn't think was going to be your person is. So keep that hope, keep that faith. Take some, I think I mentioned this in every single show, is take the time for yourself. We take, and we have a society that jumps from one thing to the next and one thing to the next, and they don't take and recuperate. So if you've got heartbreak here, instead of jumping into the next thing, perhaps the message for you is, if this resonates, is to take some time for yourself. Yes, relationships are people growing machines. However, there is a time and a place, just like the moon, where things are cyclical, and there are times to learn to be alone. Being alone is extremely empowering. Now there's a shadow aspect to that, and I'll get to that in a minute. But being alone is also very purposeful. To go within, do some healing. If we can't handle the beat of our own drum, how are we going to expect anyone else to be able to listen to the symphony that we create? So I definitely, I'm feeling and I'm hearing that in order to get out of this Ten of Swords energy, you're already moving past it being in reverse. You're coming out of that. It is necessary, that dark night of the soul. Justice card here, things are happening the way they should, and to have faith in that is very, very important, because it may seem like a lot, but to go back to that inner knowing that it's going to all be worked out. Those scales are there for a reason. It's that balance again. And yeah, the future, it's beautiful. Hangman, that's that stuck, it's flipped upside down feeling. That is absolutely normal with the death of something. And that's the magic in the rebirth. That Judgment card, that resurrection, that higher self joining with you into creating something more. And then when you look back, you see the magic of it all and the lesson that was there to take you to the next chapter in your life. I want to read these two for more clarity, for more insights, for the empowered message and the alignment message. So let's do that. These are just absolutely beautiful cards. I love them so much. I will show them. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, because I do post those this spread, so you can have a clearer look at them and take a look at that. So, okay, empowerment message from Benzaisen. You are your most lovely when you are being yourself. The Japanese goddess of beauty, Benzaisen, reminds you that knowing, accepting, and honoring yourself as a spiritual being in a physical body requires self-care. Here we go, right there, 4 swords. Self-care, going within. Now is the time to support yourself by surrounding yourself with beauty and choosing to see its power in every aspect of your life. If you can commit to doing that, you will be amazed at how much more beauty rises to greet you. Open your eyes to wonder everywhere. Even in the most unexpected places, beauty waits to be discovered. Consider this before you turn away from a person, place, or thing. Beauty is everywhere. It's your time to find it, and the goddess Benzaisen will help you do that very thing. Your ability to see beauty in your world is dimmed by a momentary lapse of self-worth. The goddess of beauty asks you whether you've been set back by a visit of perfectionism or others have withheld their support, causing you to feel small or insignificant. Whatever the circumstances, it appears that you have been hijacked by a sense of lack. Your alignment task is to restore your self-worth and regain your equilibrium by refusing to engage in these mind games designed to dim your light. Now is the time for positive self-inventory. The goddess Benzaisen is here to remind you that you are bright, shiny, beautiful, and a bright, shiny, beautiful being of divine power and light. You are more than enough, and the world contains more than enough beauty for you. This is a good place to dust off and start again. I love this. I'm going to embellish on this just a little bit more because there's some other things that have come to light after reading this that I feel are deserved to be brought out because of what was said here. There's beauty in you, and you know, every single one of us, I have my days where I do not feel beautiful, and I spent most of my life feeling very very lacking, very not enough. And I feel everyone has this journey, and it takes a lot of persistence on just even looking in the mirror and saying, I am enough, I am enough. And that perfectionism wall or mask that we put on, it gets such in our way because it will always constantly reflect back that, see, you didn't do it perfectly, so you are not enough. It is our own way that we sabotage ourselves with our perfectionism wall. It is such a destructive, egoic, how do I want to call it? It is a shackle that can hold you back. I wouldn't be here if I did not overcome that aspect of myself through the way I was raised to be here. You've got to be willing. I mess up in every moment. I mess up in reading and perhaps seeing an angle that I didn't see, and I see it later. I hate watching myself on here, by the way. And I do because I don't want to see it. And if I get hung up on the things that I don't do perfectly, I would never be able to share my message of being that conduit for goddess energy that everyone so much deserves. Beauty is something that is, to me, all the way to the bones. My mom used to say a very Forrest Gump saying that said, beauty is as beauty does. And I believe that through and through. It is something that comes from the heart. It's the vulnerability that we have, the ability to fail and show all of our little idiosyncrasies and flaws and be beautiful. I worked for a jewelry gem store many, many years ago when my son was an infant, so a good 20 years ago. And I learned so much about gems and their inclusions, diamonds in particular. And it was very interesting, the aspect of flawed diamonds. They're still beautiful. They're still amazing. And in a lot of ways, I saw diamonds that were more beautiful because of them. And so what I inspire you with your beauty and your inclusions is to sparkle, is to shine. You are unique in them, and everyone deserves to see your unique beauty with all of your inclusions, including mine. So as you see my shows, I hope that my inclusions, my imperfections will inspire you to keep shining and do your very best. Put that best, loving, powerful foot forward, and fake it, and also until you make it. Because when I find beauty in me, I see beauty in you. When I am enough, you are enough. And that is something that our culture so much deserves, is for us to learn self-love so that we may love another. And that is the interesting way in which we do love. We can't love to a well that isn't there. So self-love is so important, because the way I love me is the way I love you. And the way I love my partner, the way I love my child. Well, he's a man now, but he'll always be my baby. And but that's how we love, is loving ourselves. And so fill your cup, go within, take care of you, and do the things. Goddess energy is all, it is beauty. And I know that because I am a goddess, the little things I do for myself are the things that pick me up and boost me. So nurture yourself, love yourself, pleasure yourself. Those are all goddess energies that we all deserve to tap into that well. And when we do, you will see how bright you shine. So I wanted to tap into that message because that was a little deep, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, beauty it's more than just the surface. It is all the way to the bones, to the heart, to the soul, to the toes, all the way. So keep going. You are enough. All right, and then let's go into Morgan, and let's create death in those old ways of being and create the magic. So let's read her empowerment message and her alignment message. Okay, it says, consider your life a magical gift and your experience of it a beautiful opportunity to leave the world a better place. You give that gift back when death comes and ends your time on this plane. Experiences, relationships, projects, and even long-cherished dreams all are subject to the natural laws of death and the magic of the Celtic goddess Morgan. Now is the time for you to let certain parts of your life die and recognize this process as something to celebrate as well as to mourn. Let go with love and gratitude. Leave your fears behind, for in death there is great magic, as nothing can ever be truly destroyed. From the ashes of the old, a new life and new dreams will come to be. Face this time of dying and death with love and courage. Be willing to be empty. Soon the goddess Morgan will fill you up with magic, and a new world will be born for you. This is her gift for you when you surrender your resistance and allow things to be as they are. Alignment message. Magic is everywhere in all aspects of life, including death, dying, decay, and what is dark and hidden deep within our very natures. Yet in our modern culture, we spend so much time in denial, concocting ways to avoid death, refusing to allow nature to be true. We've lost so much wisdom as a result. You're being invited to address the areas of your life that no longer serve and that need to die without a promise of what is to take its place. Do you need to walk away from someone, a way of behaving, or a way of thinking? Like the caterpillar who has no idea to be a butterfly, you must surrender to the process of metamorphosis. You must make room for the miracle while at the same time not demanding certainty. The magical death goddess Morgan offers you the alignment task of self-inquiry. What death are you resisting right now? What darkness do you need to bring to awareness? How has fear ruled your choices? Who could you be if you had the courage to look at life on life's terms? Your magic is so much stronger than you think. You can do this. Your dreams depend on it. Morgan will be with you every step of the way. I love this. Death has been something that, as I reached my 40s, for some reason, you start going, oh wow, I'm going to be 40, and now I'm getting closer to 50, and start looking at time going, well, wait a minute, this is scary. And when I started about 10 years ago with my journey of consciousness and awakening, death became a very integral part of learning to embrace, face, aging. And as I went on my journey of learning about the goddesses, that these beautiful phases of our life, including the crone stage and all of our aging, our Western world does not value the crone. We don't value that step of wisdom in women and in that goddess aspect. We shove her to the side. We don't want to hear what she has to say, and that is very tragic for our culture. It is a huge loss. And in other cultures where they revere older women, they are the crown, the crone. They are the ones that give the wisdom, and our world so desperately needs to embrace every cycle of a woman, including age, decay. And I am here to embody and embrace. I look forward to my crone years because I know the wisdom that I've gained now, that and what I'm doing now with my purpose of sharing that beautiful message, that my hope is that as you age, as our world ages, that we will embrace that cycle and that phase of wisdom and honor it. So please, no matter what age you are in right now, that every age is beautiful. Death is beautiful, even in the literal sense. It is part of life just as much as birth. And I highly recommend Ram Dass's book, Polishing the Mirror. That assisted me greatly with being with someone who is dying, including my own mortality on this realm and my aging, and to embrace it. And I inspire you to do the same, because we're all going to die. Newsflash. We are all going to have our time. And so live in the moment, live beautifully, live from your heart. And when your days come, I inspire you to also embrace that. So I hope this message has in some way inspired you in your life and giving you some nuggets of wisdom, perhaps your truth. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you loved this, please like, comment, and share with any other goddesses that deserve a beautiful message. We'll see you tomorrow.